All right, today we've got this fantastic story for you. It's about a farm near Ibadan in Nigeria. But trust me, this is about way more than just farming. It's a story that reveals something universal about how pretty much everything works, why things sometimes fall apart, and what it really takes to put them back together.
So let me ask you this. Just imagine a really successful farm. Everything's green, everything's growing. But then, one small thing breaks. A single door hinge, a little patch of rust. Sounds minor, right? What's the big deal? Well, as we're about to see, that one tiny crack can threaten the whole operation. And that leads us right to the core question of this whole explainer. It's not just about having buildings on a farm. It's about understanding what each one does. How exactly does a barn or a silo translate into a farm that's actually successful and profitable? Okay, let's dive in and find out. So our story kicks off with a mystery at Uncle Chinedu's farm. Now, on the surface, everything looks great. It's green, it's plentiful, but underneath all that, something is wrong. There's trouble, or as they might say in Nigeria, there's some serious wahala. I want you to picture this place. It looks like a total success story. But here's the catch. Productivity is slipping. The output just isn't what it used to be, and nobody can figure out why. The whole system is starting to fail, and that's where our heroes come in. A group of smart young friends who are about to become detectives. Now, you can't solve a mystery if you don't understand the scene of the crime, right? For our young detectives, that meant they had to understand how the farm worked as a complete system. So before we start looking for clues with them, let's get to know the three most important buildings that make this whole farm tick. Okay, take a look at this. It's a super clear breakdown. First, you've got the barn. And it's not just a shed, It's like the farm's garage and its safe house, protecting expensive tractors and valuable animals. Then there's the silo. Think of that like the farm's bank vault, a tall fortress designed to keep the harvest of maize and rice safe from rain and pest. And finally, the poultry house. That's the cash flow engine, right? Keeping the chickens and ducks secure for eggs and sales. Each one has a critical job. So armed with this knowledge, the kids in our story, Ada and her friends, start their investigation. And you know what? It doesn't take them long to figure out this isn't just one problem. The entire system is showing cracks everywhere. And the first thing they spot, Ada finds it. It seems almost too simple. The big door to the barn is broken. Now you might think, a broken door, so what? But this is way more than an inconvenience. This is a critical failure in the farm's defenses. So what does a broken door actually lead to? Well, here's the domino effect. With that door wide open, rain can get in and start rusting all that expensive farm equipment. Boom, that's a direct hit to productivity. And at the same time, the animals inside are totally vulnerable. They can wander out, or even worse, predators can wander right in. Okay, so that's clue number one. The team keeps searching, and their next discovery is over at the poultry house. The fence that's meant to keep the chickens safe, it's weak, and it's full of holes. Again, it seems like a small maintenance issue, but it comes with its own set of really damaging consequences. And you see that same ripple effect all over again. Chickens escaping means a direct loss of product. Fewer eggs to collect, fewer birds to sell, that's money literally walking right out through the fence. And just like with the barn, a weak defense is basically an open invitation for danger, putting the whole flock at risk from snakes or wildcats. The last clue they find, this one might just be the most serious of all. They inspect the silo, that giant grain vault, and they noticed it's got rust spots and dents all over it. To most people, it might just look like normal wear and tear, but they know better. This is a really bad sign. Yeah, this is the big one. Those little rust spots are basically holes in the armor. Water can seep in. And what happens when moisture gets into stored grain? It spoils. It rots. We're not just talking about losing a few chickens anymore. We are talking about the potential loss of an entire season's harvest. All that hard work ruined just because of a few spots of rust. So the problems are crystal clear. The barn, the poultry house, the silo, they're all failing. But identifying problems is only half the battle. Now comes the hard part, the solution. And this isn't just about hammers and nails, it's about people working together. This quote from the story just hits the nail on the head. The farm itself is a system of interconnected buildings, right? So it only makes sense that fixing it would require a system of interconnected people. There's no way one person could have tackled all these repairs on their own.
And this is just a perfect illustration of how a great team works. It's not about everyone doing the same thing. You have Ada, who's the leader, directing the group and keeping her eye on the big picture. You've got Chike, the critical thinker, who's carefully measuring and planning to make sure the repairs are done right. And then there's Ngozi, providing that essential physical strength to hold things steady. Each person's unique skill is absolutely vital. So what's the payoff? Well, by combining their strengths, they get the job done faster and, frankly, better. They don't just put a Band-Aid on the problems, they create real, lasting fixes. And by doing that, they manage to restore the entire farm's productivity. Their teamwork turns a system in crisis back into one that's strong and secure. So, what's the really big lesson we can pull from Uncle Chinedu's farm? The story zooms out to give us this wonderfully memorable and very Nigerian analogy for this whole idea of systems thinking. I absolutely love this. You can't make perfect jollof rice without the rice, the tomatoes, the pepper, and all the right spices. If you leave just one ingredient out, the whole dish suffers. A farm is exactly the same. The barn, the silo, the poultry house, they are all essential ingredients. If one fails, the entire farm is no longer perfect. And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. This isn't just about farms. Think about a business, a team project you're working on, or even your own community. Every single part has a role to play. And crucially, every part needs maintenance. If you neglect one small component, one little broken door, you could eventually put the entire system at risk. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Take a look at your own world, your work, your projects, your life. What's the one small, neglected, broken door that might be causing bigger problems than you even realize? And maybe more importantly, who's on your team? Who are the Adas, Chaikes, and Gozis in your life who can help you fix it?